Hello, hello. I'm just setting up. Sorry, hopefully, I'm not making you sick here. But I just gotta get my phone in there. Yeah, I thought I was gonna do this better. Happy Mother's Day for everyone that's a mom, has a mom, even a grandmom. I hope you are having or had a wonderful time to celebrate that. Good morning, LaFrance. How are you doing? All right. Today we are just going to play. I pulled out my scraps. And when I say scraps, I mean pattern paper scraps. I pulled out some ribbons and twines and all of that fun stuff. I am doing very well. Thank you for asking. I'll zoom in just a little bit there. Um, and I think as I said, I pulled out a stamp. I'm also going to play with some watercolors. Going to play, of course, with our inks. So we're just going to have some fun. Just stamping and just having fun. Good morning, Cordelia. Awesome haul you showed. You were very well spoiled, as you should be. Are we taking a break making our sourdough, or are we doing that again today? Okay. So we're going to see how many cards we can make. But I'm going to do my stamping first because I like to get that out of the way. And we're just going to stamp. And this is from 2021. Alternate. It's called Vintage Garden. Imagine that. Didn't even realize that's what it was called. But a beautiful flower scene. We can make 5x7. I mean, we can make 5x7 with this as well. We can make standard A2 signs. So all kinds of fun. And one of the things that I want to play with, so I've been doing really good with my low buy, not a no buy. I don't know if I could ever do that. Altenew does have wonderful florals. They are just absolutely amazing with their florals. All right, so let's get that there. And let's just start stamping our patterns. I'm going to use Canson XL watercolor paper because I love that paper. And I've cut it to 5x7, but I'm just going to put it in different ways. Good morning, Holly. How are you doing? So we're going to play and just stamp this because I'm going to be fussy cutting these out. So I'm going to make sure that they're placed in a certain way. And I'm not going to be able to get both of them on a panel, but that's okay. That is okay. All right, so let's do that. And let's get these. Nope. Let's not do that. Let's get these in the center because, like I said, I am going to be cutting these out. Fussy cutting. Ave, good morning. Happy Mother's Day to you all, too. There goes the timer. Okay. Okay. Gwen, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There it is. Couldn't find my ink. So we are just having a play. We are going to play with our watercolors. And like I said, I've been doing really well with my low buy. But there were some brushes that I saw. And I just wanted to try them out. I'm going to try something different with the brushes to see how they work. So yeah, and I'll show those in a minute. So I cut, again, this is Canson XL watercolor, and I've cut these panels to be 5x7. I still want to put them on a board because we are going to add water to them, and we're going to get that out of the way first, and then we'll go back and do our backgrounds. I pulled out some other stamps so that we can make our ephemera, because I went through all of my stamps, just looked, and you know, we need to, once in a while, or after so many times, we do need to look and, you know, purge and all of that stuff. And by me doing that, I get to see what I have, and it reminds me what I have. Sometimes our stash can just get, you know, basically, it can get obnoxious. Let's just be honest. But we love our stash. We love what it gives us and what we can do with it. All right, so let's, and then I have two panels here. Yes, they are standard A2 size. I know. And I'm going to use the big stamp because even though the stamp, I mean, this is really going to take up this area. I mean, we can still do that. So I'm going to show you what we can do with this one. Let's see if I can get the majority of it on here. It's just because it's a big stamp does not mean that we can't do that on an A2 size card. It just means we need to fiddle with it. That's all. That is all. Ow, ow, ow. So I hope all you moms are enjoying your day. You better be spoiled. Sorry for the squeaking. Oh my. It's a great cleaner. Great cleaner. Ave, that is an awesome idea. Just don't think it'll take a day. Just saying. When I did my complete overhaul on my room, I allowed myself 3 days. Yes, 3 days. I'm going to grab a scrap on that one. Nope, did not happen in 3 days. Because I thought, oh, it'll just be easier to, once we get everything out. It was definitely easier to get everything out. And then bringing it back in, because you want to make sure that you have everything in the right spot so that you can still see it. And it took me about a good year and a half. And then we'll do that one. Let me grab some scraps to do the leaves. Could use that scrap. And then now I just maintain. Always maintain. To do that. So I'm going to have some poles coming out. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Just want to know what you're liking, what you're not, what you would like to see, what you're curious about. So I'm going to have 2 different polls, one for here, our main membership, and then one or for here on YouTube, and then I'll have one for the membership. Because we're always evolving. We're always looking at different ways to do things. And as crafters, we're always changing. But I always like to try new things. And I think I'm going to do one more panel. Just one more. Let's do that one. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see what else. You guys saw I was finally able to get it. I can laugh about it now. If you all were here with me, I was in tears when it came to that Scrappy Tales album. that just, and I figured out what had happened because there was something else. There was, I started filming, when I started filming the single tangles that's going on in the membership for mental health awareness, that challenge. All of that film was filmed in slow-mo. Slow-mo. We are playing with our watercolors. We're going to have fun with those. I dug into my stash and I found this beautiful stamp set by Altenew. Believe it or not, called Vintage Garden. I did not know it was called that when I chose it. Just like that. So we're going to put watercolors on top of these. And then we'll do some fussy cutting and we're going to create backgrounds with our scraps. And I grabbed my scrap twine and ribbons and all of that fun stuff as well. And we're just making cards today. Just having fun with some mixed media. Yes. So, Ave, that's something that I know that I will be bringing back out. I know I stepped away from the simplicity. So these are all of our panels. Now, again, these are going to be fussy cut. Possibly, maybe. Or, really cut down panels so that the backgrounds can come into it. I've got the size for a 5x7 cards. I've got standard A2 size cards and all of that. So I do know that the Simplicity series is going to be coming back because I enjoy that as well. But one of the things that I did want to play with, I'm going to try to see if I have to tape these down because I really don't want to. I'm just saying. Nope. So I found this watercolor. This watercolor palette here is by Cozy Lark. And I forget the woman's name. She has a website or a YouTube channel, and I just love watching her. I sat down one day and watched her what do you call it? She did a sketchbook, and she did it like all year, all these different things in a sketchbook, and it was awesome. Andrea Nelson, see, you all know her. I love her. I just found her recently. It's just it was just great what she did in this sketchbook. All these different things with watercolors. And who knew? I had her watercolor palette. It's a scary world. So yeah, did not. Oh, and look, her name's right there, Andrea Nelson. But I fell in love with this palette. Obviously, I mean, I love the colors. The colors are just great, and I did go on her website. It's not a bad price. So let's see how they go. So I think what I want to do, since I used my VersaFine ink, I'm going to wet the petal. And I'm going to go into tree green. And I'm going to drop it. I'm just going to get it lighter up here. And I just have a hint of color on the flip. So yeah, I'm just going to add some other shades. Well, that's a wet on wet. I believe watercolors should be fun. And we can even add, this is wet on dry. Should have fun with our supplies. But yeah, she was really fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch. And I'm good with the wet spots. And then this one, I'm just going to put a heavy amount of pigment down. And then come in with a wet brush. And let it do its thing. So I like to put, I like the wet on wet technique, but I also enjoy just putting it down and then coming in with a clean brush and letting it move around. That's usually how I roll. I always go down to the base. And what's great with this set is all of these hash lines that are in there. And I do have my paper towel off to the side as well. They will help automatically with your shading. All right, we're going to set those aside to dry. Here, I'm just going to let the brush put that stroke down. And then move it. So, yes, we started the Mental Health Tangle Challenge in the group, and I found out that I cannot schedule videos. It was just, I thought I was going to get so much done this weekend. My husband left for Florida. And I'm like, okay, we are going to get all the things that we want to get done. These are very nice watercolors. Get all the things done that we wanted, especially in filming. It's a lot easier when he's not home, because then I don't have the lawnmower. or him not realizing that I'm filming. So in one of the videos for the Tangled challenge, yeah, you're gonna hear him say hi, hon. And yeah, so just say hi to him. I wasn't going to edit it out, but that did not happen. Not the way that I wanted. Rendered all the videos. You know, doing videos, it's wonderful. I love it, but for anybody, you know, I love it when people make comments because I want to say, you know what, you have no idea. You have no idea what it takes, what this does, and all of that. So I got all the videos done, and started. You know, I have to do them in one spot, and then I got to transfer them into another spot after I render them, after I do all of the editing. Um, and it wasn't downloading right, so I had to cancel it, and I lost all the film that I rendered. I hit cancel, and usually when I do that, it, you know, pushes everything back into where it, you know, where it started. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to, now we're going to do our flower. And again, I'm not doing anything, you know, I believe just get your colors down. You know, just let your watercolors do what they're going to do. Just, that's the beauty of watercolors. They just, when you can put a puddle down and just watch it and touch it and just watch it go, it's, that is like pure therapy for me. Just absolute pure therapy for me. Um, I could just watch that all day, actually. I think it's mesmerizing. And that's the beauty of watercolor. And I like the white space. I like when you have those difference and you just drop your different colors in there. And again, just to let it do. So this is my normal, you know, way of doing watercolors. If I have too much water, I blot my brush off on a damp towel and then just clean it up a little bit. You know, the old saying is don't sweat the small stuff. And to me, this is small stuff. This is stuff that we're just to enjoy and have fun with it. So I just like to mix two colors and let them do their thing and see what I get when it dries. It will always look different when it dries. And I'm going to do all the green first. Holly, I think you had a question. I'm very interested in hearing what you feel about watercolors. Um, I think watercolors are a wonderful medium. Um, and it, you, in my opinion, um, you do not need to have um, the higher end. Now, with that said, okay, let me make sure that I clarify here. Um, as you, if you start in your watercolors, then yes, you will go into the artist grade, you know, the professional grade. They will work differently. Um, and that's because of, you know, whatever, it's because the way that they're made, the binders, that they've used, and so forth. So not, in my opinion, not all watercolors are alike. Like the QOR watercolors have a different binder, so they do react differently when it comes to water. I do like the way that they react because it is different. I think if you're starting out in watercolors, there is no reason why you cannot use Crayola. I think Crayola is a great place to start. And again, yes, they're going to work differently. Um, but you're going to get the feel for it. That's what the Crayola would do. You're not making that huge investment, because just like with anything in our craft, down to paper, it's an investment that you are absolutely making when it comes to your craft, your art. So starting out with Crayolas, I think, is a great place to start. Now, if you're not comfortable starting out, some people say, well, why would I do that? Okay. You could, the other alternative that I would go with is Cotman, Winsor and Newton Cotman. The Winsor and Newton Cotman, and that's the key phrase there, Cotman. That is their student line of watercolors. They are fantastic as well. They're just, of course, they're just at a higher price point. Okay, all the green's done. Yay! I do everything in production style when I do stuff like this. um, but what I also like about watercolor, you can just do your watercolor and be done with it. You can add your depth after you have your first layer of watercolor on. You can add another layer on top that's glazing. Excuse me. To add your depth, your shadows, and all of that. Or you can bring in your colored pencils on top of watercolor to add depth, to add your dimension to. When it comes to that, when it comes to these watercolors, I actually do like them. So let's pull out, because I saw the her in your question there, Holly. Sorry, I was rambling. I was rambling. Yep, I ramble. So let me have the green dry for a second. So if I take, let me get a mop brush. So one of the things that I look for in watercolor is if I put a big puddle of water down, and if I touch it, it's moving. It's absolutely moving. That, honestly, that's what I look for with watercolors, and hers certainly do. I love the color palette, And there's 24 in her set. And she has 2 different style cases that you can get. And again, I don't know when I got this. Just say, um, I honestly, I do like it. I do like it. The only thing, I don't think her indigo is an indigo. That's her indigo there. I'm used to a deeper indigo, but that doesn't mean that I can't take her indigo. And she's got Payne's Gray, which I think is awesome. Yeah, see, to me that's indigo. It's a little deeper. Um, but I do like them. Um, I think she did, a great job with them. She's got an ultramarine in here. An ultramarine will always granulate. I mean, that's what they look like. They're transparent, so they're not like the Kuritakis. The Kuritakis are a little bit more opaque. They're not a gouache, but they do have that opaqueness that goes on. And that's what I look for too. So I think for the, I think she, I was on this, I forget when I was on her site. I was on her site recently because she was talking, the video that I watched, I think it was like 50 different ways for your sketchbook. She kept on calling it a play sketchbook. So I bought that. I bought that. And it's 50% cotton, 100% cotton watercolor paper, which I thought was great. So yeah, I'll actually know even more at the end of today. This is like the first time that I'm really going to be playing with them. The only thing I did, obviously, when I did get this, was I swatched them out. And I love her color palette. She's got a beautiful range. She's got, the 3 different yellows, because you got yellow ochre. It is yellow. You've got the lemon yellow. So she's got the true primaries, lemon yellow, red, and ultramarine. They're your true primaries. But then she's got a great orange. And then even though the red, she's calling it red, I mean, it's like a nice dark orange. She's got a dark red. She's got a cherry red. She's got something that's close to opera rose, that fuchsia. She's got 2 purples. We've got these 3 greens. You've got a teal. You've even got a teal green, and you've got a great range of green. And she's got olive green in here, which is awesome. She's got Indian red. I love Indian red. It's right up there with Potter's pink. Great set of browns. So you've got the reddish brown, you've got the warm brown, you got the cool brown, and then she's got Payne's Gray, which I think is great, or what she's calling Payne's Gray, and then of course a black. So I think it's a great color range. She really hit the mark on the colors in one set. Hello, Kate. How are you? Welcome. For what you're getting with the 24 colors, and I think this was $40. And I remember when I did get this, you can get the refill pans. She has those as well too. So you don't, if there's a color that you gravitate to, and you run out, you can go back to her and get the replacement, which I think is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So right there, I think it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. All right. I think these are dry. They're dry-ish, but that'll work. All right, so let's do this one. I'm going to do... So I hope that helps so far. I'll let you know how I keep going here. And I'm just going to take the stroke with this. I'm just going to come out and take the stroke. If they combine, they combine, but that's going to help me keep white space. So we don't have to color it in with our watercolor. I'm just having fun putting down the color. I am taking each petal because, again, I do like that white space. I want that white space in there. I'm not worried if I go outside the line. I'm not worried if my colors change. That's just going to add interest to our petals. And basically, I'm just taking my brush and I'm just pushing it down. And then I'm just going to go along the base of the lines. It's still a little damp. And I'm just going to add a darker shade and see what that does. And I'm literally just dotting it, just hitting it with the point of my brush. Now this is Canson XL watercolor paper, like I said. So it's not 100% cotton. Here I'm just taking the brush to the side and then just swooping up in that one petal. And I'm just going to let that dry. Just using the point. But like I said, with anything, yes, it can get expensive. I mean, tubes of paint, depending upon what you're looking at, can range anywhere from $7 to $30. And it's a small tube. I believe you only need one brush because, again, you can turn it, get the point, and all of that fun stuff. I think I want that to go into that. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to swoosh out. So it's almost like I'm doing the stroke. I'm squishing down on my brush and just wiggling it just to get that color in there. And then just going to push this down on the bottom. So anyway, yeah, with Canson, it just isn't 100% cotton. It doesn't hold the water as long that your 100% cotton papers will. I think right now the best value when it comes to 100% cotton paper is Meeden, Meeden. But I like the blooms. I like what Canson XL does with it. But so far, yeah, I really do like her watercolors very much. Again, I'm just pushing the brush down. Sometimes it'll go on its side. Sometimes I'll go straight down. Oh, so anyway, so back to the horrific. So I hope that answered your questions so far. And again, I'll continue to let you know um, what I'm thinking about these. But so far, yeah. Yeah. Again, I do. I think they're at a very good price point. Um, so I had to, I didn't lose the files yet. Me and technology for the past 2 weeks, we have not been getting along. We are not playing well together. Um, but I just took some deep breaths. Mm-hmm. I thought I was going to start hyperventilating. And then I turned on the Hallmark channel because, because everything's happy there. Everything's happy. So, yeah. Calm me down. All right, so those are those two so far. I'm going to wait to put the yellow in the center. We'll set those aside to dry. This is going to be an obnoxious amount of fussy cutting, but I may not fussy cut. I may tear it. I may rip it and do all that fun stuff. So I was able to re-render them. Then okay, what happens if I add purple to that color? Oh, I like that. So got those done. I'm like, okay, got all 21 done. Let's get them in there. Let's get them scheduled. Nope, can't do that. Cannot schedule because in the membership you all saw the introduction. That wasn't supposed to come out until the 11th. Yep. Not until the 11th. So for those, I saw some people had watched it, which was cool, but I pulled it back and I said, okay, I got to be able to do this. So of course I've kept on playing with it. Nope. Cannot do that. I'm like, okay, here we go. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay, that looks good there. So I'm gonna put a poll in the membership. Do you all want the voiced over tangles all at once? Or do you want to see them, one each day? I can do either or. Just know though that if you want them to come out each day, I can't help but laugh. Then what's going to happen is they're going to come out at different times. Since I can't, don't get me wrong, I'd love to take off work. But I wouldn't be able to launch them during work. So some may come out, early in the morning, some may come out in the afternoon, but one would come out, each day. And I know I have a few people here in the membership. Just let me know. And then I have the individual ones. I am loving the ones on the Strathmore paper. They are they're coming out cool. Now they're not voiced over. You just get to watch it, listen to the calm music, and all that. All right, we got those. And let's see. Let's do this a different way. Just gonna slap that color on. Again, just, have fun with your paints. Don't stress over it. There are other artists out there that do amazing, just absolutely amazing work. I think I'm going to do this one actually. I better go over here. Can you all see that? Okay. I also like this because it's a smaller palette. And actually it'll fit in my screen. Um so yeah. So we got that going on. So stay tuned, guys, for that choice that you'll be able to make. So yellow always looks good with blue because it's close to orange. Blue and orange are the complementary colors against the wheel there. Hmm. What happens if I add? Ew, I don't like that color. Again, just slopping down. And I'm using up what's left in my palette. So yeah, it was a very thinking, oh, I'm going to get so much done. Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. So when you have days like that, you just gotta, let it roll. Yeah, that's what we did. We just let it roll. And we just went with it. But awesome day. I took like 2 days and nights of nothing but tangling. It was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. And I never got to play with the brushes that I got. Okay, but that's okay. So, very simple, right? This is how they're starting to look. So we got these. And we got that. Got those. This is a way that I can play with color combinations. I got to get out because usually that's my color combination. Or this, and that's usually what I stick to and gravitate to. This one's just a little bit more bolder. Honestly, this is getting me out of my comfort zone when it comes to that. All right, so we're going to set these aside to dry. meaning they're just going to be sitting all over the desk here, and hopefully they don't fall. There we go. And then these are what those leaves look like. So you get those different colors. See, I like the blooms. To me, that's cool. But this would look good to add shading with a colored pencil. Basic set. And then you can just add your colors there. And I know those are dry. This is how that panel dried. Love it. Smooth. I'm not getting too many blooms. So, not bad. Yeah. So far, yes. Just know for this one, colors stain. There's some colors that will stain. So if it sits there long enough, that's how I got that and couldn't move it. Okay. I'm going to set my watercolors aside. They're going to come back because, of course, we're going to add something. Yeah, just a second. All right. So here I've got my base panels again. It's very close to it. And it's funny that you said that, Cordelia, the statement. One of the other things I love that Altenew does, not only with all their florals, but they give you this document now. And it's funny because they give you ideas on how you can work with the stamp, how you can color it and do all these different things with it. But then it also tells you products for perfect pairing. There's your statement flowers. So yeah, perfect pairing. So it's funny you said that. So see, Cordelia, great minds. Great minds. Absolutely. Wrong way. I put it in there the wrong way. All right, now let's have fun with our scraps. So between that and that Scrappy Tales album, yeah, it just wasn't a good day. But I did, you guys saw, I did finally get the Scrappy Tales album up. I love that thing. That thing, it came out cool. When you can mix and match like that, when it comes to mixed media, I think it's cool. So just making sure I have some neutrals. I don't want to go too bright with my background. And whatever I'm pulling, I'm keeping here off to the side because I'll keep on going back to it if I can. I could possibly, there it is. I do know that what I haven't decided yet, let me check to see if there's any questions. Anybody new? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, thank you, Glenn. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, that was. And I say that, well, I appreciate, Holly, that you say do whatever I do, but they're your memberships. I'm here for you. So, I'm really glad that, though, Gwen, that you loved it. I do too. And I was determined to get that video up. Very determined. It was like a mission. because I could not refilm it. I just could not. There was no way. So yeah, that's the other reason why I was almost in tears. I'm like, I can't do this. That one, I loved every minute of it. Yes, 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 yes. But it was just a labor of love. Yes. All right. So what we have here, let's just pull out some different things. Let's start on the 5x7 and let's clean up our desk here. So this is like copy paper. It's a heavy, it's like a 32-pound copy paper that I do not like the way it prints in any way, shape, or form. And of course, I will not throw it away because I can't do that. So I use it as what I call a card design base. I very rarely throw paper out unless it gets really small. Then yes, then I will throw it out. But this whole ream, no, I can't. I cannot throw that out. So I cut them down to the size of the card. In this case, it's a 5x7, and I can design on top of it. So here, this is just like they're mini master boards, but I do like that look in the back. And then I have these cut aparts that are going to go back there. I do know, because someone, I won't mention any names, she's here, has texted me a couple of times on this idea. So for June, yes, I'm already thinking about June. We will be for the first tier 1. I'm gonna do it's like a 5-card or a 5-card 1 kit. But that's gonna focus on taking one stamp and doing different things with it. It is gonna feature a Simon Says stamp kit. I think it's the recent one. But I want to focus on if you just have the stamp or a stamp that is similar to that, and let's say you don't have the kit, you can still create those 5 cards. So again, to me it's all about techniques, what you can do with them. Now, of course, if you have the kit, then you've got more options that go in there. Okay, let's look. Is that? Oh, it's dry now. Oh, What flower do I want? Liking that purple. Yes, I'm going to cut these apart. Uh-huh. Yeah. With small scissors. Just saying. And then for the other tier, yes, Gwen, get ready. Yep, calling you out. We are going to do, now it's not going to be done in one video, guys, a lap book. And what a lap book is, now there's always different things, different ways to do, but it's like a journal, and it just keeps folding out, and folding out. So it folds in half, and then another piece will come out. And it's all interactive. So it's like a scrapbook album, but we're going to do it in a vintage style, of course. So we're going to do that. So that's going to go throughout the month of June. So those are the two big projects that we'll be doing. And again, guys, remember, we do things here, but that's why I'm also going to take that poll out. I want to know, what are you guys looking for here? We already know that we do our first Sunday. That's a tangle day. I mean, do you want to see Simplicity's going to come back? So we're going to do that. And even though I cut this one around, it doesn't mean I can't use it. So don't think I'm not going to use this one. But while I'm here, I am going to fussy cut this one too, just to get it ready. I'm not worried about the edges. We're going to ink around the edges. I'm going to cut that piece out though. Okay. So yeah, that's what's going on. And then I'll just decide how we get those videos out in there. I'm very upset that I cannot schedule. I don't understand why I can't schedule videos like I can here. Here I can schedule videos. I can put a video in today and have it launch Thursday. But I can't do that in the membership. So if I take them out individually, just know that one's going to come out. It's just going to be coming out at different times. Like once I get to my computer, boom, I can hit the button. It was a day yesterday. It was just a day. Technology. It's an awesome thing. It really is. Makes me absolutely nuts. All right. Now I want to pull in some tags. Now or tickets. Now you can always you can use a digital for this, but if you've got stamps, I do. And this is, I figured out a way to store my Stampers Anonymous stamps. So I found these awesome zip bags. I mean, they're thick. This is like 4 or 5 milliliters thick. It is awesome. And if I have the die, I can put the die in there. But it just fits them. And when I put them in my carrier, they just slide now instead of catching, and they go flying. You all know what I'm talking about. I'm not the only one that has that problem. I am not. You all know. Just saying. It's a process in our creative space, right? It's a process. But those bags were awesome. Like, I finally found them. So I'm just going to use just some cardstock here. I know this is like a light blue, but that's okay. And I'm going to use my archival ink. So if we have these stamps, we can make our own ephemera. Holly, you're going to buy a virtual ticket? Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I can't wait to get there. And I'm going to see Biddy and everyone else. But I don't know if the airport's going to be the same. And I'm going to tear the top of this. Just like that. Now, yes, that's really bright. But you guys know what's coming in. This one. And again, I will put vintage photo on anything. Pink, light blue, lavender. I just do. And I think it looks awesome. This is the one thing that can never go away. And look, it changes. It doesn't look that bright blue. So we put that there. And let's choose another color. Again, I'm going to tear it. Or if you've got those mini scallop scissors, I just don't feel like going to go get them. I did really well getting prepared for today. I just don't feel like really grabbing anything else. And we got that one. So yeah, you can use your stamps to make your ephemera. I didn't put the yellow on that, but that's okay. Oh, wrong one. And I am going to go around the edges. Do we remember this technique? I haven't seen anybody do this technique in a while. The only person that I see that still does this is Vicky P. The classics. We got to get back to the classics. They were awesome. And you always want the top side to be to your left or to your right if you're left-handed when you take your marker to this, because if not, you could slide down, because sometimes when you do this, you can go like that. And that's usually the direction in which you'll go. And that just kind of frames it just a little bit. I seldom do that. What, this? Oh no, I still do this. Yep. Still do it. Yep. Now see, I do have to get something because I have this and I can't get my watercolors up on here. So I'm going to grab a pouncer. We're going to do this really quick. We're going to grab an ink. There we go. It works, right? This is really what I use those pouncers for. So we can have that there. I'm going to put that there. This is going to come up there. This is missing something. What is this missing? What is that missing? I think there's too much going on back there. What do you guys think? See, I have an idea of what I do when we come here. I don't know how it's going to work by that time. I do. Cordelia. Crack me up. All right, I'm going to grab my white acrylic paint. Don't stress. No, I don't want that. I love these disposable palettes. Somebody left me a comment. You're throwing too much trash away. I'm like, okay, delete. I try not to. Oh my God, why won't this open? All right, if white paint goes everywhere, this is going to be hysterical. Because it would just end my week. Then I have paint. Okay. So, yeah, I do try to limit what I throw away. I really do. But there's times when we can't do that. So I am going to push that back. And I'm just going to use white acrylic paint. And I'm really going to water it down. And we're just going to swipe up, swipe back. I don't want to lose the details, but I do want to be able to see. Okay, just like that. All right, now that's going to bubble up because we've added water. And now to me, it just pushes it back just a little bit to where you can see it. And that's what we want. That's what we want to go for. Let's see if I can glue this down now. We could, I don't want to pop that up. And then I can flip this over and trim it. Oh, Cordelia. You're funny. Ugh. Right, I'm just going to set that aside for it to dry because the moisture of me doing the whole white over that just really messed that up. But it's going to go onto our white card panel. Put that there. And now that we cut this in half, we could also use this one for a two sides. And then we've got these leaves. So we have to make sure that we get some of these cut out. So yeah. So you guys are going to see a post, and I'm just going to have things listed like cards, tangling, Zentangle, that type of stuff. So hopefully people will come in and vote. Because again, I do believe, or I feel, I shouldn't say I believe, I feel that when it comes to this channel and my memberships, they are for you guys. I'm here to have fun with you. So if I'm not doing something, or if I'm doing something that you're not going to enjoy, see, I can stick that right there. You never know. See, that's the beauty of this stuff. You just never know. Just... Let's not separate this one again, because this one I'm feeling full vintage blowout vibes. And I think it's because of the colors. But yeah, so that's how I look at all this stuff that I do. I like showing different ways that you can use your stash. I don't do I shouldn't say I don't do. I very rarely now do product reviews anymore. And one of the main reasons is if I do not like it, I will not talk about it or use it. I also will not say anymore to anyone when it comes to those reviews. Yes, get this. No, don't get that. I'm not going to trash another company. It's just not me. Very rarely will I come out and say, yes, you should get this, except for the split ruler or the T rulers. Yes, to me, they are just awesome. And it's a good tool to have. It doesn't mean you have to run out and get that. I will very rarely do that. But if you ask me about something like, like these watercolors, someone's asking me, well, what do you think? I'll let you know what I think. But just know that I did try these before I came on again, because if I didn't like them, I wouldn't even bring them on. I'm just not going to do that to somebody. They work hard to put that stuff together. Love that dauber. See, there you go. Same. Well, now that would be fun going across that now, wouldn't it? And we could just choose no. A piece of pattern paper. If I can get one big enough. Oh, please. But nope. Nope. So yeah, that's what goes through my mind. I'm not here to trash anyone, destroy their hard work. That's just rude. At least in my mind. Rude. No. So yeah, I stopped that a while ago. Anytime before I had big scratch. Oh, hello. And that I am not going to need. I gotta cut off that edge. And 5 1/4. Don't need my design base because I have that. And we're still going to make our ephemera. The pollen. I don't know if pollen's ever going to leave us. All right, so let's do like that color. Maybe. Possibility. Nope. Nope. So let's make some more stamps. I also have, and I pulled out some advertisements. Will it fit? Yes, it will. Did everyone see Biddy's live yesterday? I had it playing in the background. I was there in the beginning. Said good morning to everyone, and then that's when I was crying over my awesome process that I was going through. But it was fun. Bethany was fun. I think I want this one, that blue. Nothing like a red rubber stamp. What time is it? 10:27. Okay. But yeah, I was playing all kinds of things yesterday on YouTube. Got caught up. I really do like it when I tear that. Got caught up on videos that I needed to get caught up on. So that was playing in the background. And yeah, I have that stuff playing in the background even though I'm tangling. I cannot have complete silence. I cannot have complete silence. For some reason, it is, and this is going to sound strange, it's almost deafening to me to have just complete silence. So I'll have something either music wise, I'll have my headphones on, but I don't like to put my headphones on because in case my husband has a tendency to just, scream. Or I'll have something playing on my iPad that I've seen 1,000 times, or something like the old Lifetime movies. God, I love those movies. The old ones, not the new ones. But I have to have something playing. It's literally it's deafening for me. I can't think. I know that sounds strange. I cannot think if I don't have any sound around me. So I just kept on playing other YouTube videos that I could just sit back and listen to. And then when I do get tense, the Hallmark Channel goes on. And yes, I do watch Christmas movies now. Yes, I do. Yep. Love them. Absolutely love them. They make me happy because they always end happy. I want to live in one of those towns. I really do. I really, really do. I want to live in those towns. Okay. So we have that. So we can put that one. Oh, we can put that one there. We can put that one there. I think I'm just going to go with those two. Yeah. Put those up there. Now I just got to remember where these are going to go. So we're going to just squiggle some glue down there. Then we will get this. I'm not going to ink. I thought I was going to. Decided against inking on top of that. I cannot wait to use up that glue. Just saying. Just feels very weird when you get it on your... Oh, Holly, you live near Hallmark Town in Ave. What don't you like? You don't like my card? uh, I'm about to say, oh my God, Ave, love your honesty. That was funny. I'm like, wow. It is. It is when you. It's a great glue. I mean, it holds, and it's great to like because you can write with this and then let it dry, and you can put the foil back over on it. But boy, when you get it on your fingers, it just does not go away. It just stays there, right? Okay, so I'm not crazy. All right, well, that's good to know. All right. Sometimes I think, sometimes go a little over dramatic or something like that. You never know. But yeah, but I've got it. I'm using what I have. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm using what I have. All right, so let's do some stamping. All right. I'm not near my sewing machine. but I'd like to put some stitches. I should have done this in black, but that's okay. That is from the Stitches stamp set from Stampers Anonymous. Love, love, love. It's just so cute. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Ave. I think that, yeah, because I don't use like for my numbers I'll use the black because I've got that there and I've got that there. But for the stitches, I agree. Yeah. Oh, upside down. That would have been funny. And you can stamp over, your images. It's okay. It adds texture. Let's make sure we don't put this on down again. Trust me, that's not what people are going to see when it comes to that. The glue is still there. Okay, where's my... It's been a long week, guys. But how was your week? Let's talk about something happy. Well, mine was happy, but I got to teach, so that made me happy. Add some splatters and get them all over the table. My husband one time came in here and he goes, "Hon, you got splatters all over the place." And I said, "Yes, it's a happy crime scene." So think of it that way, ladies. It is. I mean, it is all over. And then the one time I did the card and the red glitter blew out of it. These are the things that I remember. Yep. And I did the Scrappy Tales video with my glass mat, and I love my glass mat. I really do. I just don't like it for filming. I just don't. And it really bothers me that I don't. I have to be honest, because I absolutely love it. But yeah. I just don't like it for filming. I've tried it now a couple times, figured out all the bugs for filming and all that. Nope. I just can't. And it's a shame. Because I do like the glass mat. I very much do. It's easy cleanup. I'm poking at this because I splattered it and I don't want to smear the splatters. Not that I would have cared, but I'm trying. I'm trying not to do all that. Okay. That is our next card. Oh, we're at 2. Oh, I think I can put the other one down now. Yeah. Yeah. Still has the glue on my fingers. Okay, I need a wipe. Use hand. Oh, okay. Oh. Snitches get stitches. Only you, Cordelia. Only you. Did you get to meet Betty White, Cordelia? Because that would have been awesome. All right. I'm going with what Ave said. Hand sanitizer. I love the fact that you can do that with the thing, but wow, this glue is amazing. And again, I get glue all over the place. I'm not neat with it. But I have like 8 other bottles on this. It must have been on sale somewhere. Just saying. Oh. Yeah. All right, everyone, Ave is right. Hand sanitizer is the only thing that takes this glue off of your fingers. Tip. There's a tip. All right, now we're going to try this again. It is. It's a really good glue. And the aqua is good too. And it works great with fabric. Let's see if I can keep the glue off my fingers. Card facing the right way. No, I am not putting any sentiments on these in case anyone's wondering about that. Nope. Nope. Because we don't have to. Oh my gosh. Well, that didn't work. I like to have, well, these are the types of cards that I box up for my sister-in-law. And she takes them to a nursing home, many nursing homes. She's got multiple locations that she's associated with. And they love them. And they can use them for anything. To me, that's the beauty of this one. We don't add a sentiment. We can use it for anything. Work it. We'll put that. All right. Next, let's do another 5x7. Oh, that'll stick. A little dampness on your mat will make your paper stick, and it'll also make it curl up, but that's fine. So let's do that again because I really like this piece here. So I'm going to get glue down. And this is the other beauty of a base. You can then just cut around it. I don't know why. I just started doing that, and I don't know why I do it. I very rarely, I shouldn't say I never, I very rarely go straight to a card base. Had to threaten it. Why are we threatening people, Cordelia, with a spray bottle? My goodness. My goodness. Okay. Well, there's a crease in here. It's got a score line. No biggie. We can just flatten that out. Doesn't matter. Oh, the other thing I did get was the next release of the Tim Holtz pattern paper came out. And I only got that. I'm doing very well. I'm really surprising myself, actually. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. And you know what? I think I'm going to tear these. Let's tear them. Or what I mean by tear around them. I'm going to go around first. Then we'll get closer if we have to. Which we're going to, but I need to. So I'm guiding it. To do this, I'm just guiding it with this thumb, my dominant, off my dominant hand. And I'm keeping that around the image. And then this hand's coming forward. This one's really just holding the paper as I tear around. And then this thumb's cutting in to where I want it to tear. It's, sorry, that was totally confusing, right? So you can see how I'm manipulating this around the piece. And if I have to turn, I'll turn. And that's how I'll tear around pieces. And so you're kind of sort of getting the shape of the piece. No, it's not perfect. And honestly, this can take just as long as fussy cutting. But I do like the look of torn paper. There. I'm not getting... So, okay, I was about to say I'm not getting any more pattern paper. And then you all heard me just say about 5 minutes ago that I just got the next release of the Tim Holtz pattern paper. So I do not need, see how I started that out? I do not need any more pattern paper. Fortunately, though, Tim Holtz came out with it. There go, I must have it. That's the reasoning. It's just saying. Okay. He needs to stop coming out with new things. Although, I will also say, so I'm just going darker like in the center and hopefully it'll just bleed out just to give another layer to it. Because I don't feel like getting a smaller brush. And we're just going to hope that does that. I'm just saying. And it's cool because the ink going on the watercolor gives it another color as well. So, see? I embrace imperfection. Yes. Anyway, so when he does that, a heavy sigh, and I look at it, and then I buy it. All right, now I am going to lightly go over this with Vintage Photo because it's a torn edge. Now, even when he was coming out with his recent stamp releases, you know, I used to, I want almost every single one of them. But I hadn't done that lately. I mean, I may get one. There was a couple times where I didn't get anything. I even surprised myself. So there's times where I can be good, but yeah, no, with that I gotta. But I've just been so far. I think I've only like gotten some sentiment stamps, so I've been doing really well with this. It's honestly it's surprising for me. Very, very surprising for me. Okay, now I want to push that back just a little bit, but I only want little tiny strokes. So sometimes it's easier to get your effect with a fan brush. Fan brush is also better for splatters, I have found. If you hear my cat, he is snoring. Because he does that every time I film. And you don't have to use white. You can use any color. You can use gesso. I'm just using white acrylic paint because it was easy to get to. Okay. I've got to get my absolute favorite stamp out. I need a bigger block. Ow. That's not a bigger block. All right. Now, how did I do that? Oh, I don't want to know. So I love this stamp for skill and amusement only. Just saying. I also like the condemned. So I must entertain myself somehow, right, guys? Kalinda, hello. How are you doing? We could add some metal. Let's add some metal. Why not? Oh, please don't fall. Okay. I love my brides. Oh, well, now that's going to fall. There we go. I love that sound. It's the little things, right? Ah, I always save this packaging. Okay. We don't need to create any other ephemera because I have the other ones that's sitting in front of me. Can even put it that way if we want. Yeah. Oh, here we go again with the glue. So whenever I'm layering like this, I don't push everything down right away. I wait until all the pieces are in place. Because I may need to move something. Now I'll push it all down. Put one there. Put one there. Why not should have done that to the other ones. Oh, but that's okay. Not going to put that in front of me again. There. Brad's like a pearl. Why not? Oh, and we need to add... Let's put it on the card base first. And I want to do some stamping. Oh, the little kitty keeps doing that. Well, see, now this... Well, mine has learned not to. And he actually learned that on his own. My cat does not jump up on my table unless he's hungry and I'm ignoring him because I'm trying to get something done. He gets very angry when I do that. But that is something that has surprised me. He doesn't jump up on this table. He doesn't... If anything, he'll jump up on my desk. And that's where I film the Zen Tangle, or when I'm tangling. That's where I film that. 9 out of 10. But yeah, no, he sleeps in his bed and snores away every time when I'm doing a voiceover or a live. Yep, that's what he does. We're gonna add splatters because we can, and we're gonna get them all over the place. I'm surprised they didn't make a machine that you can splatter where it doesn't do that. And probably if somebody does, it would cost a fortune. And there is our third card. All right, what time is it? It's 11:04. Okay, let me clean this up. And let's go back to look at the watercolors, and then I'll show you the cards that we made. Let me clean up just a little bit because I have no space. Because the one thing that I didn't get to play with, and I hear wonderful things about them. All right, that's going to go into something else, and that's going to go into something else. Let's put that there. I'm going to save all my other watercolor pieces, put them in my pot. There are my scraps. It's all wet. These go in here. So one of the other things that I've been seeing a lot of, I never used any of the ribbons. That's funny. That I've been seeing some watercolorists use are the extended point paintbrushes. And I got curious about them because they do look really funky. But can give some pretty cool effects from what I'm seeing. Now, with that said, do you need these brushes? Nope. To me, the only brush, to me, you would just need 2 brushes if you're starting out in watercolors. And again, this is just my opinion. Is I would say where is it? The number 12 round and trying to find it. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it. There we go. A 4 or a 6 round. Now, you could go into a 3rd one, and that would be, a large mop to add water to the back. Large amounts of water. Trying to do a panel with a 12, you can do it, but it's going to take longer. So just a mop. And I'm a fan of the quills. This set that I got is actually by Grabby. So that is my suggestion. Now, do you need both the 4 and the 6? No. Because what's great with rounds is they come to a beautiful point. I mean, you can get a fine line and you can get a thick line. And then either a 6 or a 4 is then just going to be able for you to get into detail work. But again, you still have that fine point. So your rounds are extremely universal. And really, only brush you need. You can say the same thing too about a cat's tongue, because you can get a thick line, turning it to the side. You can get a thin line, turning it on an angle. You can get a leaf shape. So, I mean, you can get all these different things from one brush. You don't need all the brushes. And again, I get it. Yes, I have all the brushes. But that was a long time ago when I would get them. So this is actually the Meeden cold press. It's 100% cotton. And let me get my watercolors. Let's play. So after seeing how they dried, yeah, I do like these. They blend. I think they're decent. Very much so. But again, I'm not a professional watercolorist, but I think they're very good with what they do. And remember, I just dropped the colors down. I squiggled it down. Now the reason why it didn't blend here is, again, this is Canson XL watercolor. It's not going to hold on to the moisture as well as 100% cotton. 100% cotton, even if you don't see the water on it after you soak it, you know, put your water on, it still has a dampness to it through the cotton fibers. So that's why your colors will still go, where this is not cotton. So this is a cellulose, I believe. So while it stays damp, it's not going to blend as well, if that makes sense. I don't even know the technical terms. I just kind of sort of understand it. So this is what the brushes look like. They've got a fat, round body and then this elongated point. It just looked really cool. Now these are by them. I don't know. Fumuli. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. But they've been coming out with a lot of stuff lately, as well. So let's see what we can do with these, and then I will let you all go to enjoy. Oh, have a good one, Kalinda. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm trying to clean my hands here. And then I will let you go to enjoy Mother's Day, time with family and friends, your mom, maybe your friend's mom. So if we look at a 12, you can get a thin line, and then you can get a deep line. You can get a thin line and a deep line. And that's the type of stroke that you want to practice. And create a puddle here. I can just keep grabbing. But you can, and again, this is with a 12. It's a big brush. But again, you're just going to, and again, just practice your strokes, practice your pressure. And when I do this, I always have my brush, when I'm doing that light pressure, my brush is almost 90 degrees up. And then that gives you that leaf shape. So now you can curve it, press to the side, and then come back up, and then you get that leaf to the side. These watercolors do work well. And then if you want to put a darker shade in there, we can boop, just touch it, and it's just going to go. Now this is 100% cotton, so yeah, that is going to flow a little differently than what it does on Canson. And again, I've been seeing on Amazon at least some good prices for the Meeden pads. They're blocks. They're all blocks. All right, so that's with your 12, and you can get all of these different, levels of thickness. You can just use the point to go into areas. So again, universal brush. And that's what you want to look for. You want to look for a brush that is universal for you. Now here's the 6. Again, you're going to get that point. but you're not going to get as wide of a leaf shape. So again, your 12 is going to give you all the different leaf shapes that you would look for. You can get thin lines and then thick. I didn't have enough water in my brush. And all of that. But again, you are limited when it comes to that. So I'll usually use a 4 or a 6 for detail work. When we look at the larger, again, it's just more universal. I can go very thin. I can go medium. And then I can go very wide when it comes to that. So sometimes, like when people ask, I will say, you know what, go for a 10 or a 12 and get used to it. You know, practice with that brush. That's basically what I did, just to keep on practicing. And you can just fill up a sketchbook just with these strokes that you're doing. Now, here's a cat's tail. And you can get the same type of things. If I take this on its side, I can get a very thin line. If I take it to an angle, I'm turning the brush to get that shape. So cat's tongue is very, I said cattail, I think, before. So cat's tongue is universal. Again, I would twist down and then I would come back up to get that shape. And then you can just drop your colors in. And even though it doesn't look like there's water there, this will travel because again, it's cotton. So you could go with one of these. What's also cool with a cat's tongue is you can just tap it down. I'm turning it, and now you got a flower. So it will help you do that as well when it comes to that. And you know, I love blocks. Blocks and I have a love-hate relationship. We really do. I think they're great because you don't have to tape anything down. But I struggle with getting these separated. They are not easy to separate. All right, I'm just gonna rip. So yeah, I am not a block fan. I'm really not. But blocks are good because you don't have to tape. They keep it down. But you do run the risk of being harsh like me and not being able to separate it. I'm just gonna get another piece out. Because they have so much glue on this edge. They're usually not this difficult. My goodness. Ugh. All right, so I'll set that aside. All right, so yeah, so that's, again, I get asked a lot. That would be my recommendation, a 10 or 12, because you can do petals with a 12 as well. I'll do a 2 petal. I'll get down and then I'll just push it and turn it. And again, this cold press is textured. So if you don't have a lot of paint or water in your brush, it'll do that, and that's fine. So there's one type of flower, and then you can come in. And you can just see how it's just... So paper does matter. If you're looking for a certain effect, 100% cotton is how you want to go. It's just expensive. I mean, it's up there in price. Now, sometimes it's cheaper to buy 100% cotton paper in the big sheets. Like, I think I saw on Dick Blick, and I was only there because I had to buy some jelly rolls for a Zentangle class I'm teaching. Just saying. You could get the natural white arches, cold or hot. I think it was either the cold or the hot press, and it was like a 21 by 35-inch sheet for like $7. Think about that. Because then you could cut that down, because you only get 10 sheets in one of their pads, which is like $28. But you could cut that down, and if you got 3 of them, you're only paying $15. So sometimes with your 100% cottons, it's more economical to buy them in the big sheets if you have the spot to cut them down, which I would find a spot to cut them down because I couldn't believe that price. I was trying to think of things of what I could use that for, and I did not, and I moved on. So you can see, without all that water, that's able to move. So paper does matter. You will get a different look if you use a cellulose style paper. So this is Canson XL. It's not too different. You just get the blooms. And again, I like the blooms. I think they're pretty. And this is just one style of a flower that you can make. You know, you've got that. And I can put a petal in there. And then if I come in with a darker shade, it's going to look different. You'll see how it blooms differently. This will actually bloom. You can see how I'm getting the harsh lines. But again, I like that look. You can see as it's drying back, you get these harsh lines. Where here, as this is drying back, you don't. You're not getting, it's smoothing out. They're not as harsh. But this, you're going to get harsh lines, you're going to get blooms. But again, I like that look. Again, my favorite paper is the Canson XL watercolor paper. I enjoy working on that. All right, so let's try these brushes out. So that would be my recommendation, like I said, when it comes to a brush. You really just need 2. That's all you need. All right, we have our puddle. And I'm really liking mixing her indigo to the Payne's gray. So they say, since you have the extended point, you have the ability to do a fine line. And then when you push down, you get these different strokes. Now, I will say that is a fine point. And then you should be able... Oh, that's cool. So just keeping your point there and then wiggling, you can get a different petal shape. Okay. I don't know. Learning curve. Definitely a learning curve. And with a paintbrush, we do yoga. But I do like the fine, and then when you come down and you come back up, you get this different type of leaf. I really do like that fine point on that brush. That is a fine point. But there is a learning curve with these. So if you're just starting out with watercolor, no, do not start with this brush, please. But I do like the stroke that it's creating. It's like a... yeah, you could reel this. Yeah. Okay. It's like a dagger, but rounded. Yeah, she's fun. So, again, just starting out, no. But you do get some pretty cool strokes on it. So, okay. I'm glad I got that. These are very nice. Um, for a watercolor palette. So Holly, if you're still here, yeah, these are nice. These are very nice. And you can see, since this is cotton, it still wants to bleed because that water is being held. And you can see I'm able to take this and create thin lines as well. So again, it's practice when it comes to your brush strokes and what you're doing. But this is a very nice palette. Very nice palette. Yeah. And then this is how that's drying. So see all the blooms. And again, this is the Canson XL. That's what you have. So those are your differences. There's the difference between your cheaper watercolor papers, Canson XL, not 100% cotton, compared to what your 100% cotton paper is going to do. But yeah, I do like things. So I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want me to do anything else before I let you all go? I can show you some of the tiles that'll be coming out for the challenge in the group. And then What else? I will be live. What's today? Today's the 10th. I will be live next Sunday. So nobody needs to hurt anyone. So that's always a good thing. Um, and then I think that's it. I'm not sure what I'll be doing next weekend. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. But as I said, we're going to have some polls, and they're coming out both for the membership team and also here for you guys. I want to know what you guys are looking for, what you want to see. As I said, the Simplicity series is going to be coming back. And it's going to come back, on a regular basis. And I've got some pretty cool ideas when it comes to simplicity. And again, remember, simplicity is just paper, scissors. If you have a paper trimmer or an X-Acto knife, that's all you need. And glue, card bases. Because the pattern paper can do the work. We do not have to. Our pattern paper can definitely do the work for us. But interested, to know, do you want regular cards? Do you like the mixed media cards? Again, I know the things that I enjoy to put together. But again, what do you want or would like to see? So the single tangles in the membership are coming out, and then this is just what some of the postage stamps look like. So again, these videos, for those of you that are in there, they do not have a voiceover. It's just music and showing the tangle in a different way or paired with something else. Again, I absolutely love the way that these look, and I think we're going to revisit this on our Sunday Tangle live to look at other papers and look at those alternatives that we can do when we tangle. That one looks a little creepy, but I think it looks cool at the same time. So yeah, so that's just some of them. I'm going to be finishing up the filming of these today, and they'll come out slowly. And then I haven't started the other one because I believe where the large watercolor panel is going to go, with the tier 2, I may look at doing some lives, doing a couple lives when it comes to that as well, and then having a future live for our first tier. All right, so stay tuned for all of that. And then I'm working on another project. I just need to see if it comes together, and hopefully that'll come through. And I am going to pull in one of the videos for when we were in the other location, Podia, and I'm going to be posting that here soon. So again, just remember they were in another platform, but I'm going to pull them over into here so that you can see what that technique is. So that's going to come out this week sometime. Hopefully I won't have any issues with technology because we are just Heidi, hello, how are you? No, splatterbox, I still get it all over the place, Gwen. I love that journal you're working on, by the way, Heidi. That's a chunky monkey. It's awesome. Did you take lessons for what, Ave? For the watercolor? No. No, that's all watching YouTube, and then I just practiced, and then I got caught in the rabbit hole. If I'm gonna be honest, just honest. Yeah, I don't. There's only certain things. I'm doing wonderful, Heidi. Um, there's only certain things that I'll take a lesson on if I want to go. So really, the only lessons that I continue to take that are actually my continuing credits is for Zentangle. Um, but for me, watercolor I play with. I play with watercolor. Yes, I want to know. Okay, how do these work? And it's really bad that I got on 100% cotton, because this is like the first time I've worked on 100% cotton paper. And yeah, they really do blend beautifully. It does. It's just going to. Um, but I don't take, detailed lessons. Because again, for colored pencils, I'm self-taught. I've used them since I think I started walking. They are still my medium of choice. I enjoy it. I love mixing it over watercolors very much. I think it gives a great effect. But yeah, I gravitate to certain watercolor people, and I'll continue to find more, but then I'll gravitate to those that I can connect with. I mean, I love watching all of these beautiful watercolor pieces that they do come to life. There's one girl, I cannot remember her name. She has a Patreon account. I mean, she does beautiful work, and I love watching her. It's just not my style. Mine is play, playing in a sketchbook, playing on a piece of paper, playing to put something on it and put it on a card. So yeah, YouTube's the way that I learn a lot of different things. But again, it does get me caught in the rabbit hole as well. Yes. So, but I've been very good. I'm very proud of myself. And yes, Heidi, that's exactly right. It's just grab that brush, make sure it has a point. It can be synthetic. I only use synthetic brushes, only because I find real hair brushes, they do what they're supposed to do. They hold on to the water. They really grab a lot of water. Nope. Mm-mm. I want to I have better control with a synthetic brush. But make sure it's got a point, and then just get a simple sketchbook. It doesn't need to be 100% watercolor. Don't get a mixed media, get the cheapest one you get, and just practice your strokes. Just practice the light pressure, push it down, lift it up, wiggle. Um, Emma LaFabe, she has great videos on brush strokes, just to show you the different types of brush strokes. I think she did a whole series on it as well. So that's the best thing to do. And that's all I did, just to practice and play with the brushes and all of that. I do like that effect of that brush. So I'm glad I got that one. Yeah, I knew you meant pencils. So yeah, I mean and I have that one video that I pulled out when it comes to colored pencils. But again, I'm not a color pencil artist. And I forget her name, Christy, I think it begins with a P. She does beautiful color pencil work. But again, I just do it to, add shading and to color a flower the way that I color a flower. And again, I've done that since I could walk. So I've always played with colored pencils. It's a wonderful it's a wonderful medium. And even though it takes longer, um, it's just the way to go. So I like the mixed media type items. So yeah, but yeah, keep practicing. You know, even if it's 5-10 minutes a day, just keep practicing. Again, I did have a colored pencil course up in the Podia, but now it sits in the membership in tier 2. Um, so I did have that. Oh, thank you. Is it Andre? Oh, thank you very much. No, I just, yeah, okay. Our cards today, now that they're dry, had all kinds of fun. There's nothing like a mixed media card. So we got watercolor, we got acrylic paint, we got pattern paper, we got ink, we stamped, we created our own ephemera. It's awesome. It's on mini masterboards, mixed media metal. You know, metal and vintage photo were coming in, right? So yeah, dig into the stash. You can create beautiful things. Absolutely. And if you've got that stamp set, you don't have to be particular when you watercolor. Just slap the colors on. Just slap them down and let them do their thing. And then we can just change them as we go through. We could change the depth if we put ink around these. That would change the look with them. Here we tore the flowers out. Here we painstakingly fussy cut them because it's a lot to fussy cut. All right. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, it was just simple fun. Learned a little bit about watercolors and that set. Again, if you're looking, I don't think $40 is a bad price. I love the fact that you can get the refills. So that was a plus for me because sometimes when we buy these, there are colors that we gravitate to. I have the feeling the Payne's Gray and the Indigo is going to be that for me. So yeah. Well, welcome, Andre. That's okay. I'm glad you're here, and I understand. I know what you're saying, and I appreciate it. All right, guys. I hope all of you, if you're celebrating Mother's Day, if you're fortunate to be a mother, a grandmother, it doesn't matter. I hope you are being spoiled because you should be. That in itself is a job that you do not get paid enough for. All right, so make sure that you get spoiled and be taken care of. All right, I will see you all or speak to you all next Sunday. Not quite sure. Just remember, keep an eye out for those polls because it really does help me. I know I'm rebuilding the community here with all the changes that I've done. Heidi and Cordelia, loving your videos, absolutely enjoying them. So keep going with them as well. They make me giggle, which is a lot of what I need. All right. So, guys, take care, enjoy, continue to stay safe and healthy. I appreciate each and every one of you here every week. I love you all. Take care. Bye.